Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Yeah, I had a funny little brain freeze there. I was saying the intro to our other show. Anyway, let's get straight into this. So this is a video that I kind of foreshadowed on last week. I believe it was Friday or Saturday. I don't remember the day exactly. I think it may have been Saturday or so. No, it was Saturday, I think. And in a live that we did, reacting to the Lakers game 3 loss when they went down 0-3 to the Oklahoma City Thunder, I had seen something from Ric Bucher from his channel. And who was the guy that spoke about it? I think it was Eddie TV. I think it was Eddie TV that spoke about it. And he played a clip of essentially Ric Bucher hinting that LeBron is taking some performance enhancers. Now, we had done shows like this in the past where Ric Bucher had explicitly said that people around the NBA have been saying that they know LeBron is taking something. For those of you who don't remember that, we did it a few months back. Take a listen to Ric Bucher here.
He can be disciplined in developing his skills and his shooting and all of that. But his out may be, but I want to eat and drink what I want. If he cared enough about what he ate and drank to treat his body like a temple, I would think he would have been doing it a long time ago, because he's already felt the repercussions of not doing so. And if he looked at LeBron and thought, man, he holds the secret, he could have pursued that a long time ago. He didn't need to be a teammate to have that realization if he was going to have it. It's one of the more annoying aspects, I'd say, of the idolatry of LeBron, that he is credited by some as being this sensei that has the answer to all things basketball, and that everybody is going to him for the answers. Now, we know for a fact that guys did that with Kobe. I don't know of anybody who has said, yes, I sought out LeBron to find out his secrets. I certainly, look, I appreciate LeBron for what he's done. I just don't make the assumption that everyone wants to be him. And there's also the nagging question about exactly how he's maintained such extraordinary fitness at such a ripe age. Now, whether there's any basis for the speculation, and I think you all know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to voice it because I don't have the means of backing it up. But we all know what the speculation is out there. And I can assure you there's plenty of it privately by players and personnel in the league. Like, I've always thought, maybe it could be. And I've had players and coaches say things to me like they take it for granted. They assume it's true. It always catches me a little off guard. They're just like, oh yeah, that's going on. And look, and it could be jealousy. It could be just wild speculation or gossip, being presented as fact but it's there. And even regardless, it takes a great deal of dedication and discipline to do what LeBron has done with his conditioning all these years, even if he's getting some sort of boost.
Great. So you heard him say that, and that was a few months ago. So I thought that Rick would have just kind of been done with it and let it go. So he was doing a show with former Washington Wizard Brendan Haywood, who's also a teammate, I believe, played a teammate of LeBron James. I don't know if he played with Jordan, but I think he played with probably both of them, if I'm not mistaken, right? So he was doing this show, and I forgot what kind of caused Ric Bucher to say it, but out of nowhere, they were talking about how Rick was looking young and whatever, and then he said, yeah, it's HGH. And then he said, yeah, something like this other guy is taking too. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. But before we even get into what Rick had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. All right, guys, the regular season is wrapped up and the NBA playoffs are finally here. And there's no better way to cash in and all of the high-flying hoop action than Prize Picks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Every bucket, every dime, every win means when you're making lineups on Prize Pick. And here's something you didn't want to sleep on. Prize Picks has the Do It Live 2026 NBA Finals sweepstakes going on right now. Make a $5 lineup with at least one live NBA player picked during the playoffs, and you could win a trip for 2 to the NBA Finals. That alone is reason enough to check out Prize Picks right now. I've been making lineups on the Celtics and Lakers players, and it makes watching the playoffs so much more fun. It's simple. Just pick more or less on player projections across basketball, baseball, hockey, and more. You can even pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup with stacks. And if your picks get off to a hot start, cash out early with easy payouts before the game even ends. PrizePicks is now available in all 50 states. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Okay, perfect. So what we want to do is I want to play the sound here. I want you guys to watch what Rick had to say, and then we'll come back and react to it. Take a listen to what Ric Bucher had to say there.
I don't know anything about none of that stuff. The PRP, what's all the new stuff now? Peptides. Hey man, you look like you in good shape. You on peptides, man?
No.
You sure you know?
I've been thinking of like, should I be taking creatine or?
No, not creatine. We talk about that human growth hormone and the peptides.
I hear it works for some people in the league really well. We're just gonna leave it at that. Okay. Moving on. Yeah, we're not going to get the call. I love throwing these out there just to see the reaction. And
So you heard Rick's comments. Now, of course, when he said this, people were not happy. People were kind of going off on him in the comment section and going at him and blah 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 blah. What is my take on this? I'm surprised that none of these people that are saying these things have been sued yet. It's one thing, like people say, oh, they're going to sue you. How are they going to sue me when I'm reporting what somebody else said? I have never explicitly come out here and said LeBron is taking this. Never. You won't find a single show. And speculating is not an accusation. It's not. But when you've had so many people hinting at the same thing, you've had, I think, NFL players, so many basketball players that have joked about it or hinted at it. Shaq, Jeff T, who came out and said it explicitly, Kevin Garnett, and so many others. After a while, you begin to scratch your head and say, wait a minute, is there something to all of this? Is there something here? And what's surprising to me is that Rick is bold enough to say this. That's the first thing. The second thing, I saw a show from Too Raw, I believe it was last week, where he said Stephen A. Smith had hinted that LeBron was doing the same. Here's my thing, and this is my major thought on this. If Ric Bucher knows this, all of these other guys know this. So if all of these guys are kind of whispering the same thing behind the scenes, the question then becomes this. If you guys know this, how do you guys still come out here and rank LeBron as high as you do and speak about him as glowingly as you do when you know that this is what's going on in the background, allegedly? That's the only, even Stephen A. Smith. If you know that, why are you so adamant on this thing of he's number 2 all time, number 2? Like, that's the part I don't understand. If you guys are fully aware of the truth, why do you still come out here and act like as if, yeah, everything is just fair and dandy, like everything is normal, there's nothing to see here. Everything that you're seeing with your eyes is 100% forward and it's correct, and you're not missing anything. That's the only part that gets me. It's like this self-hypnosis that everyone has decided to put themselves under. That's the part that to this day I don't get. And I'll say this as well. In other sports, it's never been an issue to speculate about other people using these things like Lance Armstrong, Barry Bonds, and so many others, right? But in this particular instance, this can't even be broached. It can't even be brought up. And I'll never forget about the argument that I saw take place on the Dan Lebitard show, where Dan Lebitard tried to bring it up, and it just turned into this big thing. Like, how dare you mention this? How dare you bring this up? And Dan is like, wait a minute, we can't even ask the question here? Like, we can't even ask a question? We're not allowed to ask a question. That raises some eyebrows. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave them in the comments, and we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.